He told Frank that, despite having 3 sons and 6 grandkids, they were all too busy, so he had to spend the holiday alone. Looking at the old man, Frank couldn't help but imagine his own future. Alone, no one to talk to, finding comfort in the company of strangers. The next morning, Frank returned to his son David's apartment. But no matter how hard he knocked, there was no answer. He slid the letter he had written earlier through the door crack and left. What Frank didn't know was that behind that door was just an empty apartment. Frank's next stop was to visit his eldest daughter, Amy. In Frank's eyes, Amy was a successful executive living happily with her husband and son in a wealthy Chicago neighborhood. He rang the doorbell and to his surprise, he met his grandson Jack first. Jack was busy playing video games, and after a brief greeting, he told Frank that his mom was in the backyard. Walking through Amy's lavish house, Frank finally saw his daughter, the one he had been longing to see. Even though Amy was now a company executive, she would always be his little girl.
Amy!
Dad?
But Amy's behavior was odd. She seemed genuinely happy to see him, but there was a nervousness she couldn't hide. Her loving husband wasn't home at that moment either. He didn't come back until late at night. At the dinner table, Jack's rude attitude towards his father made Frank feel like something was definitely being hidden from him. He asked if he could stay a few more days, but Amy quickly made excuses, saying she was too busy with work. So, the next day, Frank set off for the next stop on his journey. Before he left, Frank asked if they could take a family photo, but Jack refused to stand next to his father. This only raised Frank's suspicions further. When Amy drove him to the train station, he finally asked the question that had been on his mind all along.
You happy?
What do you mean?
You happy?
Yeah, of course I am.
Even though Frank noticed the hesitation on Amy's face, he didn't press the issue and set off to visit his eldest son, Robert. In Frank's eyes, Robert was a successful conductor. So, he went straight to the orchestra where Robert worked, even asking a passerby to take a picture of him with the orchestra's poster. But when he walked into the rehearsal, he was shocked to see that the young people on stage weren't his son. Robert was sitting at the very back playing the bass drum. Seeing his father, Robert looked flustered and guilty. After the rehearsal, Frank asked him why he wasn't the conductor. Robert stammered, admitting he had lied to his father and saying that he was happy with his current position. But to Frank, Robert was highly educated and talented. He felt his son's achievements should have been bigger by now. The tension was palpable, so they stepped out to the back door for some fresh air. Frank realized he might have been too hard on his son, so he complimented Robert on his drumming skills. Robert visibly relaxed, and the two of them found some common ground.